Hi guys, welcome to JC's Awesome Adventures. We have adventures every single day. Today's adventure is a gear review, and we are going to be talking about the thing that I carry every day on my skins, on my belt. I carry this every single day with some gear in it. So we are going to be talking about the Victorinox Tinker. Now, this little knife, this is a really good size. I've always enjoyed the Victorinox Swiss Army knives just because they pack a lot of punch. My main reason why I carry a Swiss Army knife is this knife. This little shape of a knife, you can do a lot with this. It is a great whittling knife. You got good purchase. You can get in there and you can do some fine work. You can do some long, good strokes. Trying to think if I've tried to feather with this. No, I don't think I've tried to feather with it. But you can do some carving and whittling and just creating shavings and all kinds of neat little stuff with this little knife. So I love this blade. This is a great blade. And I can usually keep it pretty sharp. It's actually fairly decent right now. I love that. I love the fact that there is a second blade on here. Now, it's a tinier blade, right? But it's another sharp item. You have a backup if this ends up getting really, really bad. Then this one you can use. Plus, this is really good for little fine whittling. Now, I've heard of people who will modify this so it's more of a chip knife, especially when they're doing more carving. I have not gotten into carving as much, so I haven't done that yet. So I'm actually thinking about doing that. So the Tinker is a very minimal Swiss Army knife. It is not extremely thick. So we have 4 tools on this side. So the tools that I usually use, I've never really used this screwdriver or the bottle opener. It just hasn't really been part of my my cup of tea, so to speak. So that tool doesn't come out very often. I mean, I suppose you could use it as a pry bar. I wonder if I could put a chisel edge and use it as a chisel for carving. That's a thought. Anyway, so that one doesn't come out very often. This one, however, this is my most used tool on this knife. Tuna cans. I like tuna. I like it straight out of the can, and this is how I get to it. I tell you, it's a vicious thing to do, but you have to open up that can, and you do it that old-fashioned way, and it's wonderful. And that's why I like this can opener, and I have no big problems with this thing. So that is my most used tool on this knife. I also really like the fact that it has an awl. Now this awl I use, well, honestly, I've used this to put extra holes in my belt, and honestly, I spaced my holes better with this. Most holes are spaced about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. I've put them in so I can adjust my belt better. So I really like having this tool. You wouldn't think, because we don't exactly live in the society where we use a lot of other working tools, but this has been very, very, very useful. So that's it. The screwdriver, I have used this a couple times, and it is really handy to have a Phillips head screwdriver. My thing is this is not all that useful to do it in this orientation. It's not long. I wish it was, but well, it is what it is. Excuse me if that noise covered over what I said. We'll have to see how this video turns out. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. I've used the toothpick for a toothpick. I've also used the tweezers. There's a I have a story about these type of tweezers, actually. Back Yeah, gee, I probably was 7, 8, 9, and I had a sliver. And this old gentleman, I think he was related to me somehow, but I don't remember how. He wanted to help me, and he wanted to help me get the sliver out. And I remember him using the knife and the tweezers of that Swiss Army knife, and I remember being traumatized, and just it hurt, and I didn't like it. But you know what? This is awesome because it's got the sliver out, and I've used this on my slivers. I've used this on my kids' slivers, and always carry a pair of slivers. A pair of slivers. Yes, carry a pair of slivers, just in case you just need to have a festering time. No, carry a pair of tweezers, and then you're always prepared. Why it says Walter? This was actually something that Walter Abrasives said our work, and my boss gave it to me because he knew that I would use a Swiss Army knife. So I have, and it is a fantastic tool. One thing that I wish that this had was scissors. It doesn't have scissors. I don't have scissors on anything else in my kit, and I miss that. So if I ever decided to do a modification, probably couldn't do it to this one. I probably would have to modify something else that had scissors to have the awl, which I love the awl. And this doesn't have a corkscrew either. That's not a big deal. The corkscrew would be more of the fire tender, like that fire ant thing that people love to talk about. So Swiss Army knife. Yes, Swiss Army knife Tinker. I don't have anything more to say about this. So thank you for following along on this adventure of the Swiss Army knife Tinker, and come back for more adventures.